Jacob Alderman is the chairman of the Prince William County GOP. Jacob, thanks for coming on the Potomac Local Podcast and talk to me about what seems to be an ongoing story here with the Prince William County School Board, the dust-up between the school board member Erica Tredinnick and Tracy Blake, who got into it October 1st following the adjournment of the October 1st meeting over a Turning Points USA club at Patriot High School. But new reporting that just out today that we have on our website at potomaclocal.com shows the school division was aware of this controversial, this club, what they deemed to be a controversial club, and they were warning the school board members and senior officials within the Prince William County Public Schools that people could come to the October 1st meeting and talk about this. It could be controversial, and they were warning people already in the days leading up to that now infamous October 1st meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I think it's completely ridiculous that this is still an ongoing issue. The fact that the school system hasn't commented on this, the fact that school board member Tracy Blake has not commented on it, I think is absolutely crazy. And absolutely, I think that the school system was aware, obviously, that this might be controversial, and I don't suspect that they thought that would be coming from their own ranks behind the dais, but yet here we are. So.
And you called for Blake's resignation shortly, I believe it was on the 3rd of October, just days after the dust-up between the two school board members. And again, we've heard nothing from Blake, and as you rightly mentioned, and as we have reported, nothing on the record from the school division itself, from Superintendent Dr. Tanya McDade on this issue. But yet life goes on, right? Obviously the school board, they're set to meet this coming Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow they will meet. And Blake himself continues to attend public meetings. He was with the governor of Virginia in Woodbridge this past Thursday at the opening of the Crisis Receiving Center just outside Potomac Mills Mall. So there is talk of a possible censure for Blake at tomorrow night's meeting. What have you heard? Do you think this might go through? And if so, what will it mean for Blake?
Yeah, I mean, so we have not heard anything as far as you had pointed out. The school system has kept quiet on this, which I think is just a complete, dereliction of their responsibility to the general public. People want to know what happened so far, and I appreciate that. There's always two sides to every story. Certainly, before I put out my statement calling on his resignation, I tried to do my due diligence from people within the room who were a party to it. Or witness to it. And the fact that Blake hasn't commented on it and then is going and representing the school board, being announced as a representative, as the vice chair at public events with the governor and with the general public, I think is absolutely crazy. Again, I haven't heard anything about what is on the agenda or not on the agenda for tomorrow. I certainly hope that they bring it up. I think if they don't bring it up, we've heard the same rumors that they might, but the only way I can interpret if it doesn't come up tomorrow is that it would be for political reasons. Because I think that, for the same reason that or I should say one of the reasons that I called for his resignation, because it's that kind of behavior from an elected official who should be who's leading our school system and should be an example to our students, of an aggressive kind of outburst, with profanities and threats against family members and things like that. That's obviously totally unacceptable, but it's heightened within this kind of political environment that we're in. As you had mentioned, this all stemmed from a conversation that he was not originally a part of about equal access for clubs and schools, and specifically getting a Turning Point chapter in Patriot High School. And what spurred these kind of movements and these clubs is obviously the assassination of a major political figure who was assassinated for speaking on college campuses. So I think the fact that we have a school board member who's trying to shut that down, and going back, we have an election obviously coming up on November 4th. And I think if the school board doesn't take this issue up tomorrow, it's clearly for political purposes. They would be trying to push it until after the election. That would be my guess.
through my reporting on this issue most recently that we posted today to PotomacLocal.com, I found that there are more than 60 clubs at Patriot High School, and many of them are specific student associations like the Pakistani or the Muslim Student Association. You have the High School Democrats. So in addition to the photography club and the newspaper club, which most likely I would probably join if I was at Patriot High School as a student, right? Shocker there. But some might say that, hey, it's just better if and so this Turning Points Club, we've seen several new chapters pop up after the horrifying assassination of Charlie Kirk. We've seen several new across the country. These clubs are popping up, but as we've seen in Prince William County and elsewhere, there are petitions to not have them, to block their formation. One of the issues in Prince William County that I learned that this club was having an issue finding a staff sponsor who would sponsor this club and sort of mind the students as they form their club. There's this argument that, well, let's just do away with all of these politically or engaged student associations like TPUSA, like the Muslim student, like the Pakistani student, all of these are these groups. So should we be looking at BP because they sort of they marginalize people, they compartmentalize people, they put people into silos, and the whole purpose of going to school is to interact with everyone, and these groups are not promoting sort of segregation, if you will. So what do you say to that point of view?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, high school is one of many methods in which we prepare kids and up and coming adults for the real world. And in the real world, we have disagreements, political disagreements. We still live in a community. I would never, scream at or threaten a Democrat neighbor of mine or anyone for that matter. But again, we should be able to have these kinds of, whether it be a debate club or a political club or a religious club or whatever. They're extracurricular for that exact reason, right? The school isn't promoting them. I think that's appropriate that they're not putting their thumb on the scale of either side. Again, I think it would be a disservice to our students to say that we don't trust you to meet and to organize after in an extracurricular way and maintain that respect. At that point, we're getting into the kind of the thought police area where the government is saying, well, we want to keep you away from organization. We want to keep you away. And I can say, I won't speak for every group because I won't pretend to know every group that's out there. I will speak for like high school Republicans, high school Democrats, the Turning Point chapters. Their mission statement is absolutely opening up political discourse. So it's not segregation or trying to silo people. It's the opposite. It's trying to bring people in and have those conversations and have those discussions, and win hearts and minds the way that this country was designed, through conversation.
My last question, and it's your job as a leader of a local chapter of a political party, is to field candidates, to find people to run for local office. And those who are standing back and looking at our coverage and seeing these two elected school board members fight with each other. And we just learned today, and I haven't put the story out, so I'm kind of breaking news here, but I just obtained a copy of a cease and desist letter that school board member Erica Tredinnick has filed for Tracy Blake. And so I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm still looking at it. But I mean, there are, so now with all of these legal ramifications and the infighting here has boiled over into a very public dispute here that turned very nasty from all accounts. How much harder does all of this make your job to find people to serve on these boards that traditionally and historically in the past have just focused on street light level issues, to making sure that the school bus runs on time and the kids get to school, and the sewer system works and the water and power they come when you turn the tap on, and now we're dealing with this. How does that affect your role in finding good candidates to run to serve?
Yeah, it absolutely has an impact and an effect. I will say, this is my 13th year in politics in Prince William County, and at every level, unfortunately, there's always going to be a political. Politics can get dirty sometimes, But again, as elected leaders, we're out of the campaign season. Our elected leaders should be able to rise above it and be that example. Now, I want to give a little bit of pushback on the characterization, because I would not characterize this as a fight between two members. I would characterize this as a verbal assault from one member to another, from all accounts. And again, if Tracy wants to dispute that, I would encourage him to get out there and make a public statement. I think it's
which he has not done. He has not disputed that. He has not made a statement on that. So, so I agree with you. It's by all accounts, from what we've heard publicly on the record from those who will talk about this, it was Blake attacking Tredinnick.
Exactly. And let me break a little bit of news for you too. And it goes back to the school system. For this meeting tomorrow, I know because there was a joint meeting last week, and school board member Tredinnick brought just a personal friend, as someone to kind of be there. I know that from, again, all accounts of the incident, Tracy had gotten in her space and invaded her space multiple times, whether it be yelling at her, profanities, or threatening. So she brought someone for a level of security and comfort. And now the school board, or I should say the school system, has denied her that right to bring any sort of personal security. They haven't commented on the record on this. They have not done anything to say, how are we going to prevent this kind of behavior in the future? And now they're denying a simple request for personal security. If they're not going to do their jobs and protect their members, the school system that is, and Superintendent McDade, then absolutely, the members are going to take it into their own hands. So to go back to your original question, when you have members from one party yelling at the other, you have the school system remaining silent. And I want to applaud. From everything I can tell, it seems like Chairman Lateef is willing to move forward with some sort of public action. And I think that from everything I can tell, he seems to be taking this seriously. But this is a failure on the school system, on the staff itself, to not keep their members safe or feeling safe when they're inside KLC. And that makes it incredibly difficult. No one wants to run. No one wants to get involved in this kind of mess. They care about their students. They care about their kids. They care about the county and our community. But we can't trust our government officials to support us and to support elected officials and support reasonable, common sense dialogue. So it becomes incredibly difficult to find people.
And that KLC, for those who are listening, it's a Kelly Leadership Center. That is the school division's headquarters at Independent Hill, which is near Manassas, I always say, but it's more closer to Woodbridge. It's kind of in the middle of the county, but at any rate, that's what that is. You got to be there to know it. So anyway, thanks so much, Jacob, for coming on and talking to me about this. We're going to share this on our social media with the rest of our reporting, and you can check that out, of course, at PotomacLocal.com. You can get us on social media, on Facebook and Twitter. This will also go on YouTube, so you can check it out there as well. If you see news happening, if you see something that we should be talking about, please email us, news@PotomacLocal.com, tweet us at PotomacLocal. Again, all the places to send us news. I read every single one of them. We care so much about our community and making sure that you have the knowledge and the information you need to make decisions about your community, and obviously talking about the people who are making decisions about our community on here as well. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Uriah.